Welcome to Happily Ever After with the Raj
Raj
family.
family.
We are back. It's been a little while, but we are back with something very excited. What is it, honey?
Absolutely, absolutely. This is season two, and we have some few surprises, of course. But also, we are excited to be here for the season two because it's going to be a little bit different than season one. If you have not seen season one, we would highly recommend you to go and check it out because we speak a lot of our personal stuff before relationship or during relationship and how did we end up marrying each other, all those things. And this season also we will be adding some more things like that, but we have different interviews.
Yes, we have interview with different special surprise speakers, and we can't wait to share with you. They are coming up later this month, so we won't be having the weekly this season episodes, but bi-weekly. So two episodes each month.
Yeah, basically every other week.
Yes, and so we are interviewing many different couples with experience for years or few years that are passionate about marriage and that will be sharing great insights, their experiences, practical things, so we can learn more from others.
And also, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, feel free to interact with us. We are more than happy to welcome you into this journey along with us.
Yes, and to just have open discussions about topics that are relevant in the area of relationships, dating, and marriage.
Absolutely.
So, welcome to this episode. This episode we will be sharing on how is 3 years of marriage, our experience. We shared the first time after 6 months of marriage, then after 1 year, and now we're jumping to 3 years. We're actually on our
Fourth
fourth
year is
year.
running. We celebrated in December our 3 years anniversary.
So, honey, what would you say? We're going to speak about different things, but what have been the highlights of that season in life? 3 years of being married.
Well, for me, to start off with, of course, we come into this marriage without knowing how it is going to be. Everyone gets into it unless you have experience already. So I came into it without knowing what to expect, but I knew it was going to be nice. It's going to be great. And that is the hope everyone that is going to get married has. But then for me, the highlight, one of the highlights, not the highlight, but one of the highlights is I love to travel. And the great thing is you love to travel, right?
Yeah.
So for me, when it matched perfectly, it was like, all right, praise the Lord, because we both love to travel. And here we are doing our ministry, traveling to different places. And yeah, especially last year when we went to
That's so
Austria.
true. We had a lot of traveling last year.
Yeah, so yeah, that's my one of my highlights. And how about you, honey?
Definitely, that was a huge one. It was the first time traveling outside the country as well.
Together, yeah.
Together, visiting different countries from Austria, Turkey, Switzerland. No,
Not
not
Switzerland.
Switzerland. Slovenia,
Slovenia, yeah,
and
Italy.
Italy, and then India,
Yeah,
and
yeah, India
and
too.
layover in Paris, and Holland, and
Yeah,
so
yeah.
definitely a lot of memories. We collected few souvenirs from so many different countries in such a short period of time that that's like it was a new experience on our 3rd year of marriage.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because the first 2 years of our marriage, we were more national speakers. We spoke almost throughout the country, almost throughout the country. And then it almost looked like 2025 from the beginning onwards. It was like traveling and it was more international ministry. And I was really thrilled about it, mainly because not just the international part. For me, the angle I see it is that you also love to travel. If you don't like to travel, and I'm the only one that loves to travel, then it becomes like a burden. You probably will be like, oh, should I really have to go for this and all that? But when we both can go together, it's like so much fun, like doing ministry, and at the same time, you are able to have fun as a married couple together.
Definitely, that was something new, a new experience in our relationship and our marriage, like a lot long distance traveling in other countries and cultures. And how do we feel, to be with each other in a place that maybe I have more friends or he has more friends, or we don't speak the language, or one does, the other doesn't. So that was a dynamic that was new but very exciting. I would agree. For me, besides that, which is also
Yeah,
huge
yeah,
because I
yeah,
also
yeah,
like it,
yeah, yeah.
I think which was not technically only the third year, but it was throughout the third year more. It's like our little hub or our little world where we have our home, our routine, our ministry, our goals. And it was a full year that is like we started the previous year. We started like this full-time ministry
Yeah.
and a lot of like this stepping out into the unknown by faith, starting something new. That was on our
Absolutely.
second year, second half of our second year of marriage. But our third year was more like that momentum of rolling with that, of seeing things grow and just our relationship strengthen in that
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah. I mean, doing this ministry by faith is not, it's no joke.
No.
Because we as humans, we tend to lean towards more of a stable income, stable job. And even if you doing ministry, you prefer to have like a stable income, a source of income that comes regularly every month, and you don't have to be like, oh, but I think that was part of it that actually helped us to come together even more, because you don't know what's going to happen, I don't know what's going to happen, we both are depending on God, and every month God has been providing us through one way or the other, and one month is not the same as the other.
No, it has really stretched us with flexibility, with adjusting, with trusting the Lord, trusting each other, just thinking outside the box, like creatively enlarge our skills. And so it has been a lot of growth. I feel the third, well, since the very start, but I feel the third year of our marriage was like a year of extra growth, extra flexibility, extra experiences. So definitely not a dull moment. And definitely yeah, exciting. A lot of new things.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think that really has strengthened us
yeah,
by God's grace.
for sure.
Because it can also break you, as you were saying, if you're both not willing for that flexibility and that those, you can call it challenges, they can be positive or negative depending how you face them or how you allow God to work through them.
And that's why I strongly say that marriage is like a jigsaw puzzle put together. When God puts that puzzle together, it fits perfectly. Not alone. I mean, not just the travel, but even in the faith journey. If I had faith or you had faith, and I don't have faith, that type of faith, it's gonna be really hard for you to move forward. Here, I'm thinking, oh no, I need to work so that I can make sure that there is money. And then here you're like, I'm willing to move forward, like Elijah, let's say, because God called Elijah out of the place. He just had to go, warn the king, and then run away from that place, so that God will sustain him. So when you are focusing on like, okay, this is my faith journey, and we have to be together in this faith journey, but then I am here pulling you back away from the faith journey, that'll be really hard. So I see the fact that even in that aspect, we are together, you know.
Another thing that comes to my mind that I
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of want to share, even though it's a very vulnerable or sensitive thing for me, but that has also been beautiful, is that on our ending of our third year, because we initially said on our third year we will open for kids, but then so much happened that year, as we were sharing with traveling, international, this and that, we couldn't really see ourselves going through that whole process without knowing how it would go with a pregnancy in the middle. So we kind of postponed it to after the summer and all the travels. And so at the end of the third year of our marriage, we opened ourselves up for children. And that has been a beautiful and another type of faith building journey, in the sense of, as well, we both have been together in it, knowing that we can prayerfully be open, but we also need to trust God, because it's part is in our control, part is completely out of our control. And there's so many variables that truly I have felt like what a miracle it is for a life to be formed and be fully,
Yeah, yeah.
So it has been exciting. It has been a roller coaster sometimes, a lot of new emotions.
Just so you know, she's sounding like she might be pregnant. She's not pregnant. She's not pregnant, at least yet. She's just talking about us being together in that
Yeah, in
aspect
that-
of whether we want to have children or not. And yeah, I agree with you that we both want to have children, but we are definitely open to God's guidance and God's blessings. If God doesn't want us to have children, we are open for it. It's going to be really hard because we both grew up wanting to have children. We both have always envisioned, even before we met each other, we always wanted to have like a small family. But right now, we are open and we are willing for God to lead us. But yeah.
And it has been getting to know each other, like being supportive, also seeing the differences from a guy perspective in the journey. He might yearn, but he doesn't have the whole feelings and hormones and the same way. So trying to explain and understand each other, it has been that has been unique and new as well.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah, an important part of the third year.
Yeah, that's definitely very. It gives a different aspect of our marriage itself, And but again, let's move forward and we'll see what God has in store.
Yeah, I
And
mean, that's a completely different topic for maybe another episode, more of our personal journey, emotions, prayers, how we are navigating this journey of the waiting, the trusting, the doing, but knowing that God is sovereign and that we want His will and we depend on Him. So that's
yeah.
for another topic, but that was an important aspect that we never even open ourselves up to until the end of our third year.
Yeah, and it is funny because up until then, it was kind of really hard for us to even think of having a child in the middle of all this traveling and ministry and all of that. So, yeah, it we couldn't with our right mind say, oh no, let's have children right now because of how intense the travels and the ministry was. But right now, it's we at some point we came to a peace that you know if it is God's will we will have to have children, because if we don't have children just because there is a lot going on, we will never have children, and we will never know if God intended us to have children or not, the two of us.
Now, this is a huge topic, and I definitely think we should make another episode sharing
Yeah,
more on this
yeah.
specifically because it's quite a journey. But it has been a good thing that has united us even more and understand each other's heart in it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. For me, another one I would say is getting to know you even more. That has been a huge deal for me, because it's there are so many things I can come to an assumption that, oh yeah, I know about you, I know everything about you. But honestly, it is a growth phase. You have to learn about the other person. And for me, learning certain quirks that you have, the cute things that you have, and it's not the same thing from the start, right? From the beginning of marriage, it's not the same. It changes, it has its seasons. Some are there from the start, but some has some seasons. And I really appreciate the fact that you've been very how do I put it? You've been more dynamic in your life in terms of me getting to know you and learning about you. And also, I really appreciate that.
I'm so like, this is new. He's never shared this, so. Okay,
It's
keep
okay,
going.
baby. She's tearing up if you don't know.
Oh, you're
But
making me shy and like surprised. Like, you're making me shy and surprised. You've never shared this detail, so
yeah,
going.
yeah. I mean, because okay, so those people that know Debbie from outside, they don't know much of how she is inside within the family. They think she's always very soft spoken. Even last couple of weeks ago, there was someone that met us for the first time. There's Is Debbie always soft spoken like this, even in the home? She said, I said, not really. She is outside like that. And most of the times, even in home, she is soft spoken. But when she's excited and yeah, if she wants to express, she can express. And yeah, she's not necessarily soft spoken all the time, but she has her moments of excitement and loudness. And yeah, I really appreciate you, honey, with those things, with the cuteness, because it adds more life to the marriage for me also, because I'm always making jokes and doing stuff. So for me to know that you are matching my energy, that really makes it really beautiful.
Oh, oh, honey, that's so. Lately, he has been smitten me. How do you
Yeah,
say?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, smittening me with his comments. Just recently, last week we went for a date, and I asked him in this past 3 almost and a half years of marriage, what has been the most meaningful to him. And he said something that till now is like written on fire in my heart, that he was like, I love the chemistry we have. The chemistry, not only, the attraction, but the chemistry in the things we love doing, the things we love exploring, in so many details and facets of marriage, that he felt we complemented and really aligned. But the way you said it, like, I love the chemistry we have, that, from a husband after more than 3 years of marriage, to say it that way, it really melted my heart and made me feel like, oh, this is such a blessing.
Oh.
And I was just so happy that you felt that way. And I could relate and feel the same.
Yeah, it's all true, and it's from my heart. So that's why I had to share it, because, yeah, I mean, superficial things, it's always there. It's fine. It's nice to share about those things. But then deep down, how do we feel about each other? We are really, really, really strong about these things, because many couples not couples, but individuals that we met, they always say after 2 years,
Married couples are included in that.
Yeah.
I've heard it from married couples, so it had more, because if someone is not married and says that, it's like, okay, what do you know? But married people that supposedly are with a good marriage, to say, oh, after 2 years, love ends. It was like, that's horrible. Like,
Absolutely
who
horrible.
wants to be stuck for the rest of your life? Only 2 years of good things. So since the beginning, we were like, we definitely don't want that. But we have been open to really, and we're going to share more of the, challenges or things that have been maybe things that haven't been the easiest or the most romantic. But there is so much beauty. And definitely, how I would say it is that as time goes by, there's more layers, more depthness, more security, more consistency, in the sense of like, you are more sure of each other, or you're more appreciating, because the package is opening more and revealing more. And so, yes, there can be more weaknesses you become aware, but there's also more strengths, and everything is just revealing through the years more.
Absolutely.
And it makes it more complete. It makes it more like, so many times I've mentioned to him through this past, year and a half, like, I'm just so happy I married you, and I just feel so blessed. And so many times it has hit me so hard, like, he's my husband. Like, I have this gift, this privilege of living life with someone I truly enjoy spending the day with, enjoy doing things with. And it's just like almost you feel you're in a dream, but that it's your life.
It's actually happening.
And you have like this overwhelming feeling of gratefulness, and just, thankfulness to God for giving that gift. Yeah.
Praise the Lord. Wow, there's a lot that she shared. I'm glad she shared it. I'm also thankful, because you are also very open, honest, and share your heart whenever you feel like you wanted to share. So I definitely appreciate that part. And so basically, in adding to what she was sharing, and my original thought is that many times people come to conclusion, or just tell you that the marriage ends in terms of the honeymoon phase, the chemistry and all of that ends in like 2 years, and after that it's going to be really hard. But you're married, you're committed, so you have to be in it for the rest of your life. And definitely it gives very bad understanding, and that is not true at all. Maybe it is because they have not worked on their marriage. They have not taken the time to do cute little things for each other, or go on dates every now and then, and spend that intentional quality time with each other. When you miss that, automatically you are going to lose the marriage, or the chemistry, or even the love for that matter. Because anyone, if you are spending time with, you cannot have a loosened bond. It's going to get stronger and stronger. That's exactly how friendship works, right? With friends, you spend time with them, for whether you go golfing, bowling, playing tennis, hikes, whatever you do, even going out for a meal or something. Every now and then you take the time, and you spend time with the other person. That bond gets strengthened every time you do it. But when you don't do it, it's going to fall, and it shouldn't be any type of surprise.
It's definitely not by coincidence that you can keep a strong relationship. It's not just because we're married that all of this is happening. It's the way we share, the way we appreciate each other. That's a huge thing in our marriage. And so many other details that really can nourish. And maybe in another episode, we'll share even more things about what helps to strengthen a marriage after a few years. But yeah, no, 3 years and now on our fourth, I cannot even believe it. And that comment that many people say, oh, 2 years, maybe, max 5. We've seen couples married even, I personally met, more than 5 and 8 years, more than 10 years, more than 20 years. And they still say it only gets deeper and more beautiful. And, the connection is strong and thriving. It's not just. So it's possible. And, so don't listen to the negatives. Focus in how you want to develop your relationship, how you want to nourish it, so it blooms.
And as you already shared, there are going to be issues. There are going to be downs as well. It's not everything perfect. Not everything is rosy and perfectly orchestrated, because we are two fallen human beings, and we both have our weaknesses. We both have our way of processing things. And I think of certain things, and she thinks of certain things. One of the weaknesses that I have is I think I've shared everything, but then in my mind I have actually forgotten a couple of things that I have to share. So she's wondering, why is he saying this? Because it doesn't match with the whole thing. And I'm like, why isn't she able to understand? And then I realize, oh, I didn't share a couple of things. But what happens is sometimes that leads to frustration, and it's understandably so. So as a human being, I tend to forget. And then as a human being, she tends to feel frustrated because the thing that I'm sharing doesn't match. And now it's actually funny to think about and talk about it. But during those moments, it's really hard to process the whole thing. And then the self comes in, the pride comes in, and I'm like, how do you think that I am wrong? You're wrong. And then she'll be like, oh, you're wrong, you didn't say this, and all of that. So it is part of life. However, if you are if you are in the face of relationships, or you are interested in someone, and then you are seeing someone that might match you in terms of moving forward for a relationship, or even getting married for that, how much issues is covering your friendship, relationship, or marriage makes a huge difference. If in your marriage, one of the things that we share is, in your marriage, 80% should be laughter, togetherness, and working together, and all of that. 20% can be issues and the things that you need to work on. And obviously in the beginning of your marriage, it's going to be a little bit more, the percentage is going to be a little bit higher, because you're still trying to learn about each other's and each other's lifestyle patterns. Some might like to go to bed late, like what's it called, night owl, and then some might be early birds. So you're still adjusting to it. But in general, on an average, your issues has to be 20-25%, somewhere around that. And that is not the only thing that is running your life. In that case, you definitely have a healthy marriage. Or if you're not married yet and you're in a relationship, that's a very healthy relationship.
And whenever, at the beginning of our relationship or a marriage, or each timeline is different for each individual, because the more open and clear you put things on the table, the more shaky it can become. But how you deal with it can show if you can move forward, or if you just will destroy each other more. And if it's before marriage, that's the time to really analyze, are we a good fit? Are we both willing to work, to grow, to make changes? And is it getting better? Or are we feeling stuck and like it's never really resolving? So that is a big red flag. But once you're married, our highest recommendation is put all the work necessarily, pray and ask God for guidance, and just keep moving forward. So
while we are talking about the negative things, what is something that you found hard in our marriage, and how could we work it out?
on our third year of marriage, correct? Like during that time.
All the 3 years, whenever.
Oh, okay. I would say communication has been the hardest for us. That's at least from my perspective. And I would say that we've had our growth and learning throughout the years, and we've made adjustments. But I have felt that after a few years, like maybe on our third or now, it's like those things are, we we see them very clearly. We see the pattern that needs to be worked on, and now we are really trying to be more intentional. How can we make a change? So I think when you start, you kind of work through things, you don't touch it too much. The more comfortable you become with each other, the least, I don't know how to say, the more free you feel with each other to truly be yourself and just kind of respond however you feel, the more those things become more prominent or jump at you quicker, you know? So I feel the aspect that I've had from the beginning, now I see that I personally like learning truly to listen, not assume or share my thoughts. That has been something that I've had to work since the beginning, but now I see that really I need to make a change or that can really impact our marriage. So certain patterns that I guess we've worked on now is like, okay, we really have to tackle them, or they can become a potential really damaging factor in the relationship if it's not fully changed or worked on. Yeah, not like little adjustments to improve it, but really a change. So I feel in that aspect, I feel we're still in the growth process. And I think, I mean, communication is such an extensive topic and is constantly needed for everything that it's probably not going to be like, oh, we got it fully. But we will have better tools to deal with it better, quicker, and yeah.
And I think that's the same. I would also say communication, because it definitely, it's a growth phase. We keep growing and growing and growing. We can never come to a point where like, oh, I'm perfect at communication. And many times that is something that I also observe that we struggle with. And I shared that a few moments ago, that some of the things I'm really wondering, why isn't she understanding? And in my mind, I think I have shared everything, but I have not actually. And it frustrates me as well, because I'm thinking she's not understanding me, and you're thinking, why isn't he? It doesn't make sense. Why isn't he tell it completely? And or maybe you don't even know that it wasn't complete. But anyway, I think that is something that we both need to work on, and I think we are putting our efforts, and only God has to help us out with the thing, so that we can be more patient with each other, but at the same time we can be like complete in our communication and understand each other more than what's just being said, more than the words. So I think that is one thing that I would also say or agree with you in terms of things that we need to work on from the beginning till now.
Yeah, it's truly a journey, and many people say it that whatever things you see at the beginning, those are things that probably you'll have to keep working for the rest of your life at different degrees and levels. And some things maybe they're gonna really fade away because you will really get the new path, but other things might be included with personality, with just set default modes and differences of genders. Like there's so many dynamics that can impact how we think, how we process, how we express, but it can be adjusted. Just it is a process, because we might not even fully understand ourselves or what the other person is trying to share. So it just takes practice. It takes prayer. It takes willingness, and just kind of that changing a habit requires awareness, a new habit, clarity, and then consistency, so that the brain is not acting by the default modes like this means this, but okay, how do I need to see it? How do I need to hear this? Or what do I need to say in return, instead of reacting in this certain way? So yeah, I think for me, in a way, it has been definitely working on trying to become defensive or taking things as an attack. That's something personally I've had to work on, and truly listen fully, and then try to understand what that really meant and asking more questions instead of like listening and then assuming like, okay, this is what. So it's all communication things that you might know the technicalities of it, but then implementing it on real, life,
Real life.
on the real scenarios that you're triggered or that you feel, this is unfair or why is this person saying this? That is the hard part to implement and that we have really been noticing and trying to
Yeah,
make a change.
yeah.
So I would say that has been the biggest challenge.
So, as we are coming to the end of this episode, I have an important question, but I think we both need to answer that. We have shared our communication issues and we have been sharing about how it has impacted and how everyone goes through it. In this 3 years of our marriage, did you at any point feel like you're done in this marriage and you wanted to break it off?
No, no.
Why? Why didn't you feel like you've. Let me reframe it. Why did you not think about it? What made you not to think about it? Is it because the marriage bond itself, or is it because of a commitment that we've made in front of God, or we've never seen anything that would lead to a break off in a marriage?
That's a deep question. And I think there was only one instance that the situation, how it presented, I had thoughts like, wow, like, is this how I should be treated? Or like, it was just like questioning me. I was not thinking to get out of marriage, just the thoughts was like, would others have treated me this way? So it was like the first time that it was like, "Ugh, I don't want to think like this. I have my husband, but now I'm thinking, would have others reacted in this way or would it have been better? And that was kind of like, I truly felt Satan was putting that thought in my mind because it was like, I was like, Lord, help me with this, but help us. So there has been moments in the heat of the moment, in the heat of the challenging discussion or misunderstanding or just frustration that I've had the feeling of like, okay, we really need to find help. But my thought has been more like, let's find help because we need help. Like if we don't work through this, definitely it's going to break our relationship. But I know there are help, and I know that even worse situations have people have gone through that, have been able to reduce. So for me, it hasn't been like, okay, that's it, this is done, or like leaving the marriage is the easy way out, even though in the moment you want space or you want a different situation to be there. But we have always come up stronger with humility, with expressing that we love each other, and that it's not, that is, the problem is not bigger than our love or bigger than, that's at least how I've seen it. Just like these are big issues. In the moment it looks like a hurricane, a
important
tornado, a volcano, whatever is that big thing happening. But we have a much stronger love that it has been consistent, growing, developing. God has brought us together, and I'm sure of that. As time goes by, I have been even been more sure this is a miracle God has done. This is what God has brought us together. There's like so perfect in so many ways that I know those challenges are temptations from the devil to bring us against each other, to destroy the beautiful thing God has done. I know I've wanted to fight for our marriage no matter what.
Yeah.
How about you?
For me, honestly, I've been frustrated to the core with certain situations, but I've never felt like I should end the marriage. That thought never even come to my mind. Maybe it might come in the future because I totally agree. It's the devil that puts those thoughts and he make it look like, oh, if it wasn't the case, it would have been different, or if she wasn't the case, it would have been different, or whatever it might be. And the devil would try to bring those things into the thing. So far, I have not felt it that way. I have felt frustration and I am like, oh man, but I never felt like we need to like break off this marriage for that matter. But anyway, so that's the reality again. We all go through it. We all go through different types of issues. Maybe you might not go through the same type of issue. You might go through something completely different. But the end of the day, a few days ago, we celebrated our 40 months of our marriage, and we are still going strong. There is always issues, and as Debbie you were sharing, there is going to be issues, but there is always help for it as well. If we don't work on it, we won't have any solution for it. So the best of married people, they have issues as well. So there is never going to be a time where you will not have any issues. It doesn't matter what type of relationship, but especially in a marriage relationship, the devil is trying to break you both off, so that it will break the commitment, the command that you have, or the promise that you have given in front of God. And Satan loves that, because he doesn't like anyone to be happy, because he himself is miserable. So he doesn't like happy people, happy couple. So that's my point. Those thoughts coming to your mind in and of itself is not a wrong thing. It's not a sin in and of itself, basically, because you never know up until you go to heaven to know that it was actually the devil that put the thought. We don't automatically start thinking about the negative things. However, you don't entertain those thoughts. That is where comes our responsibility. The divorce shouldn't be a question, but if it comes, you don't entertain those thoughts, because the first thing you'll have to do is analyze and see what you've worked on and how it can become a better thing. If not, obviously the devil is going to use that as a loophole to bring you out of the marriage as much as you can.
And once you're married, I think it's very important to not have that options like, okay, divorce is an option.
Yeah.
I mean, God says, if there is sin or if there's situations that there's abuse, and you do have to separate ways, but it's very clear that we should not see easy way out, because the moment you entertain that as an option, your body would automatically go there, like, oh, he's upset with me, then maybe I should look for someone else. Or, oh, he's upset with me, then he's not treating me well. Or any little thing can become a easy way out, but that's the devil's trap. So we should not entertain like, okay, getting out of the marriage is the way to find a better path, or not. So for me, it's we fight for it, we pray for it, we do our part, and we realize there's so much other good things that we are valuing. So that is very important, especially in our society that is like disposable relationships. That cannot be our mindset. This is not disposable. And
Yeah.
before we close, I want you to share and me to share. We both share one specific thing in our third year of marriage, or now this last phase of our marriage, that has really strengthened, that has really made a huge impact to kind of like revive the love, keep that love, the fire going. Like, what can you think is something very meaningful that has strengthened? And
For me, I would say working together. Of course, this is just us. Not everyone has that type of thing, situation. You might have different things, but for me, it is like working together. Sometimes it's hard because two different minds are thinking in different ways. But most of the times, I really love working with my wife, and whether it is in ministry or coaching people, or even just working out in the lawn, it's beautiful to see her. She is taking care of one side of the property, and I am taking care of the other side, and it's just a beautiful scene that comes to my mind to think of, like, okay, this is a beautiful marriage. And I truly appreciate it, and that actually strengthens for me the bond even more, to know that we can work together.
that's beautiful. And I would agree. For me personally, if I really think about it, the first thing that comes to my mind is little meaningful attentions or cute things. Like one day he made this little paper box and says, to my wife, or to my dear wife, and he had a letter inside. And that was so cute, unexpected, so random details that show that love. For me, it ignites the romance in the marriage, because yes, you could be partners, roommates, friends, and all of that is great. But in marriage, there should be that extra layer of that, like, love and commitment and expressing it. And you don't do that with anyone else to that level. I mean, you can have close family, friends, but to someone express your heart, your love, your emotions, yeah, to the opposite gender, the only one you do it that way is with your partner.
Yeah.
And to have that, for me, means even more than the dating phase, in the sense of like, he's my husband. We have been married for a few years, and he still does this romantic little things that mean the world to feed into that part of my soul, that romantic, loving, connecting, kind of, yeah, I don't know what else to describe it, but that part is not my friendly connecting and bonding. It's that romance, love that is special, that is between husband and wife. So that for me is huge. And he's done it a few times throughout our past, the third and now fourth year. And they have, wow, like blown me away.
Well, I never expected that to be this big of a deal for you because I learned it when I was a little kid back in India. Maybe I was 6, 7, 8 around that age. But one morning after I finished my devotion and I read the book, not a book, several letters that my wife wrote for me before we got married. So I was going through it and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna write something, put it in a nice paper box, and give it to her. And she kept it there. She fell all over in love with me again. That's how it felt. She was all, yeah. It was a beautiful experience for me to see that. So thank you.
Thank you, sweetie. So yeah, those are some of the things that can really strengthen your marriage even after a few years. And we've been together for more than 5
40.
years.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like
That's right.
together,
Together. Yeah.
within our relationship and then marriage, and just to see that there can still be sparks, chemistry, all of the above, and there's deeper layers that are beautiful. It's just so amazing.
Well, with that being said, we have come to the end of episode 1 of season 2. Next episode, we have some exciting information. We are not going to share who it is, but they are experts in marriage and family.
We can't wait, so please stay tuned.
Yes, and we will see you in another episode. This is Martin and Debbie. We are the Raj family, and we will see you again soon.